Democrats won big on abortion rights again, this time in deep red Alabama.
I think this is a giant step forward for Alabama. I think it's a victory tonight for women, for families, for Alabama in general. It feels like it's the start of a change here.
Last night on this program, we broke the news that the Democrat Marilyn Lands flipped a seat in the Alabama State House. She actually won that special election by 25 points in a district that Donald Trump won by 1 percentage point in 2020. The Biden-Harris campaign has called her win a major warning sign for Trump, saying that Alabama voters, quote, know exactly who to blame for restricting their ability to decide how and when to build their families, and they're ready to fight back, end quote. It's a seat Marilyn Lands ran for 2 years ago and lost by 7 points to Republican David Cole, who held that seat until he pleaded guilty to voter fraud in August. Marilyn Lands ran on women's reproductive rights in Alabama, where the state Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos are people and which has a near total abortion ban. She shared her own experience with abortion in this campaign ad.
I was pregnant with a baby who had a fatal condition and would not survive. And because of Alabama's abortion ban, we had to drive 10 hours to get the medical care I needed.
I once faced a nearly identical situation, but was able to get the care I needed close to home. It's shameful that today women have fewer freedoms than I did 2 decades ago. We need to repeal Alabama's abortion ban and protect women's freedoms. And if you elect me, that's exactly what I plan to do.
Joining us now is the Democrat State Representative Marilyn Lands of Alabama, who was sworn into office earlier today. Congratulations. Thank you for being with us. Tell us how you did this. How'd you turn this district around?
Well, it was a pretty amazing victory. And I did not expect it to be the landslide it was. But we had so many conversations with people at the doors, and people reached out to me, and it was such a personal thing that everyone was sharing stories and stories they hadn't told. Some people said, I haven't told this story in 30 years, or no one knows this but my family. And so I've heard of struggles with miscarriages and infertility and ectopic pregnancies and just the heartbreak all of these situations bring to families. And it has felt very different from my 2022 campaign, a totally different energy. I mean, women hug me at the doors, and this message has just resonated.
You know, when Roe fell, the first state I went to talk to people about it was Alabama, because Alabama quickly became one of the most restrictive places in America as it related to reproductive health care. And I remember a number of the people there with whom I spoke said, don't give up on Alabama. Don't assume that you can tell people in Alabama what other states they can go to, because that's what they'll have to do. But don't let the fight in Alabama go out, because this is the front line of the fight, not just for abortion and reproductive rights, but for contraception, for, as who knew we were fighting about IVF until recently. So the point was, pay attention to Alabama. Things can change there.
And I was stunned by the IVF ruling. And I felt like Alabama has become ground zero for attacks on women's freedoms and reproductive health care. And yesterday's victory just showed that the people want something different. Things are changing. The people have spoken. And I think things are going to change pretty rapidly here. I'm excited.
It has animated people. It has caused people who, in many cases, have voted Republican or think of themselves as conservatives in the past to say, there's Doug Jones was on with Joy earlier today, and he said, it feels like a line has been crossed for many people in Alabama, and they won't put up with it.
Many people have said we have just gone too far. And from my personal story, the fact that we stepped 2 decades backwards, I mean, this is not progress. And we want progress. We want to move forward. I think that's where we're at.
There is on March 6th, I think, or at least it was reported on March 6th, that Representative Anthony Daniels from Huntsville introduced the Right to Contraception Act. And I remember when I was down in Alabama, people telling me they're coming for contraception, too. It's actually hard for women who are not covered or don't have insurance to get a doctor's appointment if they don't already have one. So this idea, even getting contraception, is something that has become more difficult in Alabama than it was before the fall of Roe.
Exactly. And I'm very fearful because when the Dobbs decision was handed down and Alabama pulled the Trigger Act, all other states followed. And my biggest fear is that whatever we do next is going to spread. And so we've got to stop it here. And I think the victory last night really showed that that's what the people want. We are ready to stand up for women's health, reproductive freedom. It's not something that the legislature should be involved in. It's a personal decision.
So that sounds like a very strong argument in a conservative state. What does the rest of the argument look like when you saw Joe Biden and Vice President Harris talking about you as an example and about your campaign? How does it go in red states? Tell me what that argument is to people to say you've got to come out and vote because your rights are being taken away.
I have found that, at least in this district, which does tend to be maybe a little bit different than the rest of Alabama, that many people who consider themselves traditional Republicans are standing with this issue. And especially when the IVF ruling came down, that there's just been this pushback that we have gone too far and we need to move forward. And that's what I think this victory signifies.
Alabama State Representative Marilyn Lands, thank you for joining us this evening, and congratulations.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.